1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Chiefs or Eagles?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Front Office Sports live at Radio Row at the New Orleans Convention Hall here in the great city of New Orleans, Louisiana, in preparation for Super Bowl 59. I'm Baker Machado alongside our editor-in-chief, Dan Roberts, and Lindsay Zienty, who is, of course, a multimedia reporter for us as well. Guys, good to see you. This is insane here at Radio Row. Every news outlet and player is here talking to everybody. Who are you most excited to see here, Dan?
Yeah, it is crazy, by the way, and it's only Tuesday, so it's going to get even crazier. Looking forward to bringing Lee Steinberg on, the legendary agent.
Yep.
I profiled him years ago for SI and Fortune, and now we got to check back in because he represents Mahomes, probably the best client you could have. We got a lot of former players and current players rolling through our setup all week, so looking forward to it.
And Lindsay, somebody exciting for the NFL draft, Ashton Jeanty of Boise State, also going to be joining us this week as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see him make that transition to the league. And we know that he stuck with Boise State because of his perspective on through the NIL era, sticking with his team. So I really want to see how that character trait sticks with him into the NFL.
We've been talking, I'm glad you mentioned NIL. That's been a topic of conversation a lot around here, even though this is the professional leagues, but still professional athletes care about, players in the collegiate levels getting paid here.
I think it's a huge story. We've been all over it at FOS, not just asking college stars, many of whom are here, what it'll be like in the NFL, but also asking NFL guys who, when they were in college, never had the chance to earn money. They weren't allowed to do it. We've had a couple guys be like, I just missed it by 1 or 2 seasons, which is probably frustrating for them.
Yeah, and even guys who played at programs like Clemson, we talked to Will Shipley last night. We know that Dabo Swinney has a very specific perspective on NIL, so that was interesting.
And of course, a lot of the conversation also, Chiefs fatigue. We've talked to the Chiefs owner, Clark Hunt, about that very question, which Roger Goodell was even asked about this in his press conference yesterday as well, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, leagues want to see parity, right? Fans want to see a new team win every year. So I think for many people who are not a Chiefs or Eagles fan, they would have loved to see the Bills be here. On the other hand, the three-peat stuff, even those who say they're sick of it, it's a pretty big, exciting storyline. Like in some ways, when it became Chiefs Eagles, I said, this is right. This felt like what was destined. Eagles won in 2018. Now they're back. I still think they could do it, if you ask me. I mean, I'm not an analyst, but that's my pick. But I think the Chiefs three-peat is probably what the NFL wanted for all of those historic headlines.
Especially after seeing the headline come out about the gear, the three-peat trademark.
Oh, yeah.
We're tracking that.
Which, of course, Pat Riley is laughing all the way to the bank for all of that. Right. Lindsay, speaking of the NBA, that has actually been a topic of conversation throughout a lot of the halls with players and executives. Is now the trade deadline and this mega deal with Luca Doncic overshadowing what's happening at the Super Bowl? For once, the NFL is taking a backstage to something else.
Right, and all this talk about the NBA ratings being down, it's almost like, whoa, this bombshell, like how we've been waiting for this. So last night we were walking around with players on opening night, just kind of asking, hey, who do you think won? We know that Luca just had his opening press conference, so there's a lot there, and we're still tracking it, even though we're here at Radio Row.
And finally, Dan, even players who are not in the NFL, like Kurt Schilling, are here. So you're seeing a wide array of different voices and perspectives and athletes coming to something like this.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because there is an effect, right, when you arrive here at Radio Row, and that is like, this is where it's happening. In other words, even if you're not an NFL player, even if you really have almost nothing to do with football, it's almost like big notable people in sports make sure that they're here at the Super Bowl all week. And we're going to talk to all of them.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, stay with Front Office Sports on our YouTube page, our social channels for all those exciting interviews. I mean, this is technically day 2, but it does feel like day 1, but a lot still to come throughout the entire week as we prepare for Super Bowl 59 between the Eagles and the Chiefs on Sunday. So stick with us here on Front Office Sports for a lot more interviews and a lot more fun heading up to the Super Bowl.